Welcome back, Streamer Nation. I'm your host, Michael Simione, and you're listening to the SP Streamer Podcast, part of the Fantrax and FantraxHQ.com family. We're going to continue our starter spotlights here. It's still hard for me to say. And we're going to actually roll with Jordan Montgomery for this week. Next week, I haven't decided who we're going to go with yet. We did get a lot of suggestions in our post when I tweeted out. If anyone has any strong feelings about anyone, wants to DM me about someone that they'd really love to hear about, let me know because, I'm always here to help. All right, so let's get on with Jordan Montgomery. He had a tough 2020 season. In 10 starts, he posted a 5.11 ERA and 1.30 whip. There was some hype about him coming into 2021, though, because his underlying numbers were better than what his 5.11 ERA showed in 2020. Plus, he has some pretty lethal breaking balls. So I think a lot of people pegged him as a better pitcher coming into 2021 than what we saw in 2020, which was much deserved. So come 2021, in 30 starts, he pitched nearly 160 innings, producing a 3.83 ERA and a 1.28 whip. So pretty good numbers there. He didn't start off too hot. He had a 4.75 ERA in his first 5 starts, but a start against the White Sox on May 21st seemed to change the tides for Montgomery. He pitched 7 innings, allowing 0 earned runs, and had 11 strikeouts. And this is what he said about that start. That's more what I expect out of myself. Go out there, set the tone, give our team a chance, and we won a game. So it was a fun one tonight. And then Aaron Boone chimed in on this start as well. And he said he was on the attack, he was in control, really exciting outing for Monty, and obviously we needed every bit of it. Boone added that Montgomery's curveball was particularly effective, a pitch he used for 6 of his strikeouts out of the 11 that I just stated. Montgomery recalled that early on Chicago was chasing the pitch as it dropped off a table down to the dirt below the zone. That's why he leaned on the pitch throughout, throwing it a game high 26 times. So since from this start on the rest of the season, Montgomery pitched in 22 starts with a 3.50 ERA and a 1.32 whip. The whip's not great, but that ERA is. So this kind of brings in, what does the future hold from Jordan Montgomery here? What's important to note is that Jordan Montgomery's year-to-year stats when it comes to swing strike percentage, it has continuously increased. So in 2020, it was 12.9%, and it rose to 13.7% last season, which is pretty high. And that basically calls for an elite strikeout rate. And a big reason why he was able to do that was by making a serious pitch mix change. He started throwing both his changeup and curveball more compared to his sinker. So for those who are watching this on video on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, I'm just going to kind of throw up his chart here real quick, and you can see kind of what he did this season. This was the first time since 2018 that he didn't make his sinker his main pitch, right? So he actually went to 2 breaking balls over a fastball, something you don't really see, actually. So this is everything we wanted from Montgomery's curveball and changeup are light years ahead of his sinker in terms of quality, and both not only induce weak contact, but both create an insane amount of whiffs. I'm going to bring it up real quick again, too, if you're watching. I mean, on Fangraphs, if you go to the splits by pitch for him, the changeup had a 21.7 swing strike percentage, and the curveball had a 20.7 swing strike percentage. Those are both elite numbers, and the curveball overall actually had a high O swing, too. So 2 really, really good breaking balls right there. So he also somewhat had a fundamental change by going towards the plate more. If you look at his extension, it has greatly increased in the last 3 seasons. Now, extension doesn't mean too much, but clearly it's helping him, I think, create more deception. And, it's kind of harder for, usually when a pitcher goes closer to the mound, in their extension, the ball comes out quicker. So I think that might have a little something to do with it. While I don't look too much into extension because I think it's a little bit of noise there, I do think it's something to note just to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Basically to put more substance behind what's happening. It's something to kind of paint the overall picture, but it's not something that I would look at solely and be like, oh, this guy's, long extension, and that must mean he's good, but because that's not the case. So what's the problem with Montgomery? So I think it's a little bit lack of third pitch. So again, two really good breaking balls. The sinker, when you throw a sinker, you're looking for weak contact, right? So the ground ball rate for a sinker is around 50%, which is just average. It's nothing like crazy. But the contact numbers against it aren't great. A 176 WRC plus, a 130 ISO, and there's my dog, a 418 WOBA. So again, not really doing that. Then he has a four seam, not that great either. And then he also has a cutter, which isn't fantastic as well. So I think he's lacking that third pitch, and that's what's the reason for those random blowups that we kind of see Montgomery have. I really wish my dog would stop barking. I'm sorry, guys. So at age 28, he will be entering his prime, and maybe you go to the cutter or four seam a little more, and maybe that'll change things. I just really think he needs to get rid of that sinker and figure something out. But for now, I think we expect the same type of season you saw in 2021. Basically, a good pitcher. At times, he's gonna, struggle. But for the most part, I think he's going to be a sub-4 ERA guy with high strikeout potential. And I think that if he can find a third pitch that is good, he can certainly blow up here. Basically, the base is there. It's just a matter of Montgomery building off of it, right? So he's an exciting player. I don't know what his ADP is going to be. I do like him a lot. We will see, what happens with him this season, and hopefully he can add a third pitch and really take a step forward to becoming an elite starter, because it looks like the strikeout rate is going to be there. So he's doing everything you want. Like if you're looking for a pitcher that's on the cusp of potentially making one adjustment to getting to that next level and can really make or break, like Robbie Ray did this last season, like really for Robbie Ray this season, I almost want to say it's kind of Montgomery here just because of how close he is. I want to see real quick. What was it? So strikeout rate was around 25%. But again, the swing strike percentage is calling for much higher than that. I want to say closer to 28% to maybe even 30%. So I feel like he is a solid candidate when it comes to a potential breakout pitcher for the season, and someone who could really help you out that you could get later on in drafts. So that does it. Again, I'm sorry for my dog. I don't know. He's barking at something. Maybe someone's delivering something to my house. But I hope you enjoyed it. That's Jordan Montgomery, guys. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe if you enjoy. Subscribe to our podcast, our Twitch, or YouTube. Please give us a review too. We're getting near 100 reviews, which is awesome. If we get there, that'd be great. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back next